Live from the Nasdaq market site here in Times Square, I'm Meg Modic. Thank you for joining me today on Nasdaq Reads. So today I'm a little bit starstruck, maybe a little bit more than just starstruck. Today we are interviewing, the CEO of Flywheel Sports, the former president of Gatorade, and Equinox, leadership roles there. It's pretty exciting. So Sarah Robb O'Hagan joining me today to talk about her new book, Extreme You, Step Up, Stand Out, Kick-Ass, Repeat. Am I going to get bleeped out for that one? We'll see. Kick-Ass, repeat. Thank you so much for joining us here today.
Welcome.
Oh my gosh, it's so great to have you.
Thank you.
And you've been on the set before, recently on Squawk Box.
Yes, a lot of fun.
Press tour, enjoying that. So I am a Flywheel aficionado. I love class. I'm there almost. I would say I spend with you guys once a week at the very least.
Oh, that's the best.
I'm
I'm
such a fan.
Yeah.
So thank you for joining us.
That tells me that you're probably competitive. Is that
a little
possible?
bit. There's something for those of you who might not, be in spin class a lot.
Yeah.
Flywheel, one of the things that's unique about them is that they will, at times when you race, post your bike and the speed and the RPMs that you're generating.
Yeah.
And so it's very invigorating.
Yeah.
So I love that. I love the adrenaline rush. Now, so this book is all about kind of finding success.
Yeah.
But also finding success in opportunities that are created by setback.
Yes,
and
big time.
Yeah, so, setbacks, kind of the curveballs that you get in your career, and they'll change the way you're approaching your career and your next steps. How has that affected you?
Oh,
Let's
big
go
time.
there.
Yeah. So I now famously, I would say, got fired twice in my 20s.
Oh, gosh.
Back to back. Yeah. Not even once, but twice.
Yeah.
And it's funny because one of the reasons I wrote the book is because when I kind of got to that point in my career where I actually was having quite big successes, everyone would always introduce me or write about me in terms of all these great, led the turnaround of a $5 billion sports drink. And they would not include got fired in her 20s. And I was like, wait, that's important in terms of leading me towards what I became in the end with the growth and the learning you get from it. And one of the things I discovered was that every generation in our country has become more risk averse since the boomers through with Gen X to millennials. People are scared of failing, and therefore they're not taking risks. And I wanted to write a book to say you actually have to fail to become really successful, and so don't be fearful of it. Let's get in there and do it,
That's definitely something that I, as a millennial, am totally risk adverse in my career. Honestly,
Really?
I've only made one switch in jobs, since I hit the job market, and the anxiety I had around that was almost crippling.
And I would say, honestly, I have so much empathy for the millennial generation because the pressure to be perfect. Everyone's been told you've got to have the perfect job, the perfect resume, don't make a bad decision, right? And actually, when I wrote the book, I interviewed very, very successful people from all different walks of life, from Condoleezza Rice through to Bodie Miller, who's a skier, through to Ali Webb, who founded the Dry Bar. And what they all had in common is not only had they made mistakes and failures along the way, but they didn't necessarily know in their 20s what they were going to become.
Right.
And it's okay to take a while, it's okay to kind of go, okay, I'm going to try something different. That doesn't work out. I'm going to go somewhere else, because that's how really successful people operate.
Yeah. Millennials, people always complain about us as being used to being successful, And so that's a comfort zone that, why would you want to step out of it? But you have to. Now, one of the things that your book covers is checking yourself out, or check yourself out. Could you talk to us a little bit about what that means and how you kind of developed that idea?
For sure. So I think, again, the millennials have all been told, when you graduate college, you have to find your passion, get into a job that is your passion, and then you'll be set. And it's you cannot Google search your passion. You actually have to get in there and try things and check yourself out to understand what you love, what you don't love, where you're awesome and in your zone, where you suck and have weaknesses, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you do a lot of things and start to hone your filter of where you are thriving, that's how you kind of get on the track to becoming what I call Extreme You, which is the best version of yourself, because you've tried a lot of things and honed in.
Kind of looking in the mirror.
Yeah.
But also looking in the mirror and taking stock of your experiences.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
And so this came through conversations, like you said, you've talked to a lot of successful people.
Yes.
Would you say that in their own lives they've had moments where they've checked themselves out?
Absolutely.
And those have been turning points?
One of the things I really got inspired by was how many of them had taken significant career turns, like maybe in their early to mid 30s. You know, most people think, oh, I have to get it right, you know, in my 20s. And, you know, many of them, like one example, Sam Cass, who's was the former White House chef, you know, he was starting out trying to be a professional baseball player, and then through a very like twisting journey ends up realizing that those skills of competitiveness, work in a kitchen, he's passionate about food.
Oh,
talking
about
an
skills
RKO just happened.
Yes.
Woohoo!
So for our viewers, of course, this is Facebook Live. We are live right now. We just are celebrating the IPO of NCS Multistage. So they just hit the market.
Fire it up.
Yeah,
Let's
I mean,
do
obviously
it.
do your own due diligence, guys, but check them out. They're just, I mean, they're fresh babes on the market. So they just priced. We're very happy for them. That was the bell you just heard. So I mean, and here at Nasdaq, our ethos is ambition.
Yeah, I love it.
And so I mean, this is kind of a marriage of that.
Is.
You know, you
It
can't
totally
you can't
is.
be ambitious without accepting your extreme you.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And embracing that.
Yes.
So that's so exciting. So one other thing, you know, you've got check yourself out and then get over yourself.
Yeah.
So that's a good process.
Yes,
I actually,
yes.
that's something my mother tells me to do all
All
the
the
time.
time.
And she's a very wise woman, but
Yeah,
I
I
need to
love
get
that.
over myself, right?
Yeah. I mean, because what that's all about is that I do think what I learned from all these people I interviewed is it was extraordinary the level of humility. Like even people like Angela Ahrendts, who's like top of her game, like the 14th most powerful businesswoman in the world, right? Like crushing it. Yet her humility in terms of willingness to understand, I don't know necessarily as much about this particular industry as other people around me because I came into it later in my career, whatever that may be.
Right.
That willingness to say, okay, I don't have all the answers and I want to hear and listen from everyone else, which keeps you open-minded and curious to keep learning. And I think that's really this whole idea of getting over yourself, like how you just continue to realize there's more for you to learn.
And for those of you who are, you know, risk adverse too, taking other people's opinions, asking questions, being honest about what you don't know.
Totally.
There you go. That's a great way to keep yourself from making mistakes.
Totally.
And that's something that I think I struggle with as a young person, and I think my peers do as well.
No, I agree with you. And
know?
I actually think it's human nature. I realized this when I was writing the book, to feel like you shouldn't admit what you don't know. You know, it's like I'm in a job, I shouldn't let anyone know that I don't know how to do this because
that's
that's
real.
how we all feel. Yet if you actually just man up and say, I really don't know this particular piece, can someone help me?
Yeah.
It's amazing how suddenly they are bought into your success because you've asked for help.
Right,
you know?
right. Now, obviously, these are all things that you do, right? You check yourself out, you get over yourself, but you as a leader, I mean, what would you say is distinguished you in being able to honestly, I mean, to you know, take the helm of some of these incredibly well-known, very followed companies?
Definitely. I mean, I do think I have this sort of unique life experience. You can tell from my accent, I came from New Zealand, which is a tiny little country at the bottom of the world. And I am now an American as well. And I feel like it's that combination of when you come from a small place, you are willing to take a lot of risks because you don't have much to lose, you know, so you swing hard. But I also think what I've loved about my 20 years in America is the just sheer confidence that the culture of our country has. We expect to win. I think I've been lucky to bring those two things together in some ways.
Absolutely. And so you've also been drawn clearly to the fitness industry. One that I am I don't know what you would call it, but I am one of your prime customers. I really am. Honestly, I'll go where you tell me to go. But so, you know, a lot of that is people who get an outlet for their competition, you know, and we're still celebrating the IPO over there. But, you know, the perception of winning and being competitive. I mean, how do you handle that in extreme you?
Well, it's funny. Like, I deeply believe that winning is a good thing. And we went through an era, I think, in this country where kids with participation trophies were told everyone's a winner. And it's like, actually, they're not. Like, anyone can be a winner, but you have to work really hard to be one. And I think for me, it's funny. Like, I spent my childhood wanting to be a professional athlete and epically failing. Like, I never even made the A team. Yet all of those skills, I still had a passion for fitness, which sounds like you do too. All those skills suddenly came into great strengths for me when I found myself in the sports and fitness industry.
Yeah.
So just because I failed over here doesn't mean there wasn't a piece of it that could work in a different aspect, you know.
And I find that, at least, at the Flybar or Flywheel
Yeah.
classes I attend, it's a very encouraging atmosphere,
Yeah.
which it's like personal wins
Yes,
too, and that's
totally.
to be so introspective.
Yes.
A book and a program kind of
Yeah.
like the one in the book. It's important to have your own personal wins as well.
Totally.
And it doesn't mean everyone's a winner.
No, but totally, we celebrate
being honest with
everyone's
yourself.
win. And,
Yeah.
And I do think what I love actually about Flywheel, and it's the same philosophy that the book has, is that winning is different for everyone. So whatever it means to you, celebrate your version of it. You know, set your own goals, achieve them, and celebrate them, because it's different for everyone.
Now, is that like an extreme way to win? I mean,
Yeah.
what's the difference between, like I just talked about, like the personal wins and then extreme winning? What is that? Is that a change in your life? Is that a?
That's a good question. I think it's fulfillment. It's like setting out and setting a goal for yourself and going after it in your own way, so that when you get to the other side, you really have achieved it. One of the great things I found from interviewing all these people is so many of them like took on jobs or opportunities that everyone around them said was a really dumb idea, or you shouldn't do this because you should pick a safer path because, and yet their gut and intuition and passion was like, no, I have to follow this path. And when they achieved it, that fulfillment's incredible, because you've really stuck with what you personally believe in. And I think that's what extreme winning is really about.
Outstanding. And so, I mean, being on a book tour, putting yourself out there, I mean, and I commend you, because I'm sure it's extremely exhausting, but everyone is so curious about your success and, what has brought you to this point. And I think it's so great that you're laying it out there, and you're also talking to your peers, the people that all of us want to have access to, and getting their input on this. So
no, it's been a fascinating journey.
That's
for sure.
great. Well, thank you so much for
It's
joining
been a
me
blast.
here
Thank
today.
you.
No, absolutely. Sarah Robb O'Hagan, current CEO of Flywheel Sports. Her new book, Extreme You. Check it out, you guys. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Yeah, you too.
All
Thanks.
right. Facebook, keep in touch. All right. Check out more stuff going on here at MarketSite throughout the day.